Praise Thor, the rains have begun and we can finally set up a rooftop garden. Welcome back to Project Zomboid, the floor is lava, where we managed to secure sort of like a castle up here. And we're gonna see if we can, as some of you guys have suggested, cover the entire roof in dirt through the trick I figured out last time, where you can actually take gravel off of the roof and place it down, and you're left with dirt there. I didn't know that this existed in the game, but as long as I can use it, I'm definitely going to use it, because we can get a whole rooftop garden going, and possibly getting more vegetation to grow up here, which would be absolutely insane, and would mean you could honestly terraform the entire upstairs in Project Zomboid. You can never really forage from it, because there are forage zones that are designated in the game out in the wild, though I'm pretty sure that you could do that over the ground. I won't be doing it, because I'm pretending that the floor is lava, or as some of you guys have suggested, my character is a crazed psychopath who thinks that the floor is lava on the ground. But man, the rain just finally stopped. Every time that I say that it's raining, it stops raining. So let's just check out the info on our rain collect. Oh wow, what do you know? It actually got 69% water. What a great number. We're gonna just leave that there. Our plant's got enough water. I think we've got, what have we got up here? Strawberries and like carrots or something? No, radishes. So absolutely nothing that will help us keep weight on our bones. As far as that, radishes have like 6 calories in them. It's insane. But anyway, we're gonna just keep on doing this for the rest of the roof until I get an entirely dirt roof, because at this point, I'm just interested in what the hell I can do with this series in terms of exploiting game mechanics, which I think is always fun to experiment with. So let's cover the entire roof in gravel, shall we? Okay, I'm now beginning to realize there's an even faster way to do this, and once you take out dirt, you can actually start, or once you take away the gravel and it turns into dirt, you can actually take dirt and then pour out dirt. So you can pretty much, I mean, I don't know if this counts as like breaking up the cement on the roof, because dirt is pretty much just destroyed rocks that have been grinded down so much with some other stuff added into my very elementary understanding of geology. But there's probably many things wrong with that statement. But as long as we have one sack that can hold 4 tiles worth of dirt, I'm gonna just exploit this as much as I can. And I guess I could just keep on taking dirt out of this one spot and technically get unlimited worms from the ground. Kind of insane, but when you think of the Life in Jars channel, finding all that stuff in the rainwater, well, maybe I'm okay with this. Oh, I just want to address one thing. As I've seen a lot of you guys worried about some of the moodles that are happening in the upper right corner, I'm pretty much not worried about being tired, depressed, or anything of that nature until I fight zombies, in which case I might start to use some of the items that I have to, you know, counteract those debuffs. But for right now, it doesn't really make a difference to me to be tired, because it's going to take me forever to do this task anyway. It doesn't really matter that I'm depressed, because it's going to take me forever anyway. Hunger, I'm probably going to take overweight for every single character I make from now on, because it's so good to just be able to exert yourself without a care in the world for what's going to happen to your character, without any care for losing weight, because you can always just get food from the ground or wherever you can find it. It's not that hard to find food and prevent yourself from starving in this game. The more I play, the more I realize that. And then, I don't know, it's just fun to be able to take advantage of these massive Minecrafty exploits. I really was looking for something that would make the game, I don't know, more systematic like this. So, let's just finish off the roof and start to see if any overgrowth occurs. Okay, so one thing that I did not even notice from this that is an even further reason why this is such an amazing technique is because, let's just be honest, it's an exploit at this point. Every single time that you take dirt from a square, you get more, you have a chance of getting more worms. So now I've got like 61 worms, which I've heard that the number of worms you need to eat in a day in order to gain a pound in this game is like 600, so I'm thinking I could test this out. At this point, this is becoming more of a science experiment, and honestly, I think that that's awesome, so I'm just gonna keep it up until I stop learning things. at this point, but it's friggin' crazy. Alright, let's just cover the roof in dirt and get on with our lives. Okay, another thing I've been wanting to check is whether the plumbed tainted water will give me tainted water or not. I'm not 100% sure about this, and it does. Wow, it gives me clean water. So, tainted plumbed water from a rainwater barrel collector gives me clean water when it comes out of a tap, which is pretty freaking awesome. So can we just see this thing that's tainted water 89%? I didn't quite see how much came out of it. I probably should have done that before I had checked it, but now we can get clean clothing. We can make our character not be anxious all the time because of his hemophobic trait. And the only things that will be true, we'll always be severely depressed, at least for a long time. We'll probably be fairly moist as well, and we'll always be tired until we get these crop fields planted. Ideally, I won't have to go to too much trouble watering this field, and I'd like to somehow bring the fields closer to the rain collector barrel, but this is I mean, I never imagined I would be able to get quite to this point, this quickly, which just kind of goes to show this is a perfectly good way to raise a character. Now, if we could get a tree up here somehow, we could start raising our strength to the absolute maximum and our fitness to the absolute maximum, which would make entering a lot, not destroy, we want to take dirt. There we go, which would make this character way stronger before he encountered any zombies. Honestly, I'm looking to put together a guide or something like that of this, because there's just so many cool things I've figured out about this game ever since I started these last two series, and I think it's getting more and more interesting and full of intrigue by the minute. Okay, I'm really interested in whether I can get overgrowth to occur either on top of a building, inside of a building on the first floor, or on one of these outdoor walkways. I know that the game designates certain areas as being in a building and not being in a building, just based on what I know about the map editor, or at least I highly suspect that's how it works. So I'm going to pour out some dirt here on the middle of the walkway too. Actually, you know what, let's just keep it neat, because otherwise I'm going to go crazy. Let's put down a couple more platforms over here, and then we'll put it up here, because I'm thinking we'll either get overgrowth up here, we'll get it inside the building on the first floor, or we'll get it out here on the middle walkways, just somehow occurring on the second floor. It might not happen, but it might. And if I could get that to happen, then I could feasibly, from what I have, start to build up and create a multi-tiered farm or forest over this building, which would just be the strangest thing I've ever seen. And I am clearly running out of ideas for content, because this is exciting me more than anything else. I just really am curious, because I've played this game for 3 years, seriously, and I've never seen anything like this, but I can't believe it's been there all along. Or maybe, if this is all confirmed. Okay, we've now covered practically the entire roof in dirt. Don't worry if you're OCD, I'm going to remove the other things because I also want the roof to look clean. But there is... It looks like it's on the ground, but that patch of dirt is actually levitating in midair on top of wood. So I can stand over here, and I should be able to do stuff with this patch of dirt. Now, the reason why I made this separate patch of dirt is because I know that when you're in an outdoor zone, the way that the zombies behave is as if you're outdoor. Like, I know we're up outdoors, technically, on the roof, but I think that the way that the building designations work in this game, I'm gonna be technically, like, indoors when I'm on the roof, or something like that. I know I'm getting hit with rain, but if you follow my logic of how overgrowth might occur here, I might get it here, but not there. So I'm going to expand this area just to raise my chances of getting, I don't know, some grass over, like basically bushes like you see on the ground over there. Don't know if there's anything else I could do, if I could plant like grass or something like that, just something to make it spread. But yeah, that would be the hope. I'll try to plant more of it just so I can get like the statistical chances of it rising if it does occur. Anyway, otherwise, if it doesn't work, we'll still have an awesome rooftop garden. Alright, this is another interesting one. So, on my floating, levitating dirt platform, I'm now burying corpses in it, and I'm gonna see if there's a way to get back the dirt. Because I should be able to do something like that. Okay, taking dirt doesn't really do anything to it, but does adding dirt make it into... Or can we... Okay, so we can't put another grave down there, but can we... We can pour out dirt, even though that doesn't change anything. I'm trying to see if there's a way to do it without destroying the boards that we got there. If we dig furrows? We can dig furrows, but I don't think that actually makes a difference there. If we remove it... Okay, so then the grave still stays there. And we can't honestly put more graves over it. So let's try this. We're gonna try destroying it. And wow, that's weird. If I destroy that. Alright, so I can destroy the grave, but then the floor, but then the grave is still levitating there. And this takes 400 IQ to understand. If you can see what's happening, the grave is actually floating in midair, but there's no more floor. It's kind of like when I got rid of the floor underneath the refrigerator, so I guess that the grave is considered like a game object, but what happens if can we pour... No, we can't even do this. This doesn't even make any sense anymore, so once I put a grave there, it's non-removable, I suppose. Or at least I can't think of a way to get rid of it. I don't know if you can, in which case, let me know. But I guess I'm just going to burn the rest of the corpses, because I don't want graves over there. Okay, at this point, I'm just going to take this time to dig furrows all over the roof so that we have enough zones for planting. And since I don't want to have to go through and actually water everything, because I hate watering things, I think I'm just going to wait for the next storm to come through. Then I'll do my planting of broccoli, and then we'll have a massive harvest at the end. We won't be in too much trouble with plant diseases because we're spacing out our crops. But this is a reliable way to stay fed, completely safe, have enough water, clean water for everything, and I'm pretty like, this may be the new meta. The new meta. I don't know what for, because there's no, like, competitive multiplayer, unless if you play that way. And I don't know, I'm gonna figure out how to get some firewood, because wood is in very high demand and very low supply right now to burn the last few of these corpses, but I do want a renewable way of getting rid of them. Okay, since I don't think that the seeds are actually going to get hurt, and I can't think of anything else to do right now, and I piled up all of the bodies over there, I took off some of the clothes so that now my own clothes aren't so bloody, and hopefully our anxiety will start to lower. Of course, we've got to get more clothes, but let's just try to do that because it seems like we aren't even fighting too many zombies anymore at this point. Let's just plant the broccoli and try to get an entire massive farm going up here. I mean, why not? Okay, so now we're getting tainted water. I don't believe that whether the water's tainted or alright actually affects the crops at all, so I'm just going to use whatever water I've got, because it's easier so I don't have to go down to the sink. And we're going to finish off watering these. I take it back, you know, and I'm just going to water them out. The thing is, I wish I had a watering bucket, but for right now, water bottles will have to do until we find one of those things. And I don't see any water buckets coming into our lives for a long time. Okay, so I've actually used up all of the rainwater collector barrel water, so I guess we're just gonna have to leave some of these seeds dormant in the ground. I don't think it's gonna, like, we won't see any overgrowth, if there is any, by the end of this video, because it usually takes months of in-game time, and you only start to see it around, I don't know, like September or October or something like that. We are starting to see some vines creeping up on the walls, but usually we're waiting for, like, seeing it in the streets. That would be the sure sign that we should be seeing overgrowth. So I'm just going to get all of the areas prepped up that we need to get that done. Let's just see. Did I do this one? Okay, so these ones are parched, so that means I gave them some water. Now they're dry. This takes a lot, and I think this is about as much as we're going to be able to do. 45. Okay, so then this one's well watered. There's a few over here that I haven't watered, but I think those just stay stunted in their growth, and if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, there should be some rain, and usually there's plenty of rain in normal worlds for this to happen, so I think we'll be okay with that. At this point, where is my character at? I mean, he can't really train his fitness and strength. I'm thinking that the next thing I might want to do is get that electrical so that we can start to install a washing machine up here. If we manage to find a generator and somehow find gasoline, if we find like a full gas can or something like that, we could occasionally power it up if we wanted to clean off our clothes, but I don't even think that that's becoming such an issue anymore because I do have one clean change of clothes. So I guess at this point, let's just continue to expand the network. Well, after I nap and get some basic rest, after I get some basic rest in, and then we'll just keep on expanding the network as I see it, because the more areas I could test for overgrowth, the weirder we could make this strange monstrosity that this thing is turning into. Okay, so the next weirdo thing that I want to test out while we're on this whole string of scientific testing is to see how many worms it takes to give me one more, or one more chevron's worth of weight gain. Because right now we're at it lowering by 1. So if I can get that chevron to disappear after eating 134 worms, you could feasibly use worms as a supplement to your diet. But I think it's probably not even going to work at all. Seeing as you couldn't really dig up this many worms in one day, obviously you can't really live off of worms, at least with any character that I can think of, but I have not had this many worms in my pocket, and I am curious to find out what will happen with them. Okay, this is really, really interesting. So I've now eaten about 100 worms, which I think is about 3,000 calories in terms of almost entirely protein in Project Zomboid macronutrients. So now we're still at 91 and dropping, so we haven't even hit 1 chevron, and that's around 110 worms. Plus, I haven't really burned any calories because I've just pretty much been standing here the entire time. We're also full to bursting, but we can still eat more. So I think these are gonna sate your appetite, but they won't really cause you to gain more weight. Maybe it's in like the several hundreds of worms range, but at that point, like what? Who's going to find 600 worms a day? No one. So I really don't think that they're a reliable food source. And 130, still haven't even got. Yeah, this is not gonna happen. I think somebody had actually gotten the exact number to me. It has to be in the hundreds, but yeah, you can be full to bursting, you can eat 134 worms, and it still will not cause your weight to gain. You will be sated for maybe a day, but then you'll probably vomit them all up. So this character has now eaten about as many worms as Worm Man has eaten in his entire life in a day. I won't even eat the chips instead because we're fine with this. Actually, not a bad way to lose weight, though, if you don't mind a little bit of unhappiness. Other than that, let's keep on going down. We're going to keep our clothes clean because I am only regularly anxious right now, and I guess it kind of stables off at one point. And then let's start looking for some more electrical equipment because, I mean, getting renewably clean clothes would mean that I could go into combat situations without all that anxiety. We could, easily change our clothes and actually gives ourselves some decent defense as we go in. Okay, just because I know that certain buildings behave in different ways, like there's a warehouse that makes you think that you're outside when you're inside sometimes, I'm just going to pour out dirt all over all the different floors and just different parts of this building. I might even want to do it for a couple buildings, because who knows, I might get different behavior in different places. And let's also just take apart the bottom of this grocery store and kind of neaten it up, because I'm thinking we are going to be living in the grocery store, and I may as well make it into a massive warehouse at this point. I really like taking prefab structures in the game and just making them completely unrecognizable. I think it's one of the most gratifying parts of playing the game. Okay, I'm just going to do one other test. I know that it's not allowed on lava, but who cares if I pour out a little dirt on lava? I want to see how the dirt behaves when it's actually outside of the building and on the ground too, because if I start to get overgrowth there, but not on the inside or not on the rooftop platforms, then I'll know for sure that it has something to do with player-placed dirt or, whatever that means. But I don't know, just trying to test for as many different variables as I can interests me. Okay, we're also just destroying as much stuff as we can at the bottom of the grocery store. That's, like, unfortunately you can't really do anything with cash registers, at least as far as I know. And I don't really have any care for keeping some of these items. I mean, rotten corn in there, it's just a bunch of crates. I don't see the point of keeping that around. Could use it as containers, but all of this, You know what? Actually, we could use some of this stuff in, like, trash compactors. So we'll take it out. We'll just make or not a trash compactor, composter. Take it out and see if we could do something with it like that. Okay, I've removed all of the broken glass from the front windows because it was bothering me. I think we'll just take apart the rest of this grocery store because we could use the resources on anything. I can't seem to take apart these shelves, so I'm just destroying them. What I might end up doing too, just to see if some of these things are still, you know, contained as building designations, is to just take out a wall over here and put dirt out there so that it's technically outside, and then see if I get overgrowth there. Because, I mean, if we could get overgrowth anywhere, it would be insane. Just trying to think of other ways, like if there's somewhere I could put up a wall. I don't know, if you have any ideas different from mine, I'd be really curious to hear them, because getting overgrowth inside would be insane if I could make it happen. Other than that, let's just clear out this entire floor as best we can. Okay, in order to hopefully prevent myself from falling off the edge and also, you know, fix our storage problem, I'm going to put some cardboard boxes along here, and maybe I'll just pile them up along the side. Be like my own box fort. This place is just gonna look really, really strange, but I need more space for storage. I put a sleeping chair downstairs, and we could actually be really, really organized with everything that we have up here. I don't think any of the seeds have sprouted yet. I mean, they're all doing fine. I'm just praying for more rain at this point. It might be a lot of waiting, so I'll try to get a bed so that I can sleep through a lot of these days. Okay, I just lit up all the corpses, so it's good to see this confirmed. I thought that had been taken out of the game for some reason. But nope, we can still just as easily burn corpses like that. Let's put out the fire really quick. We have a lot more unusable wood. I don't know what to do with the ash. Can we destroy the ash? Should be able to destroy the ash. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Okay, let's try destroying the ash. So wow, we can actually get rid of all traces of the bodies. That sounds like something that would be said in a gangster mafia movie, but that's when I play Project Zomboid, that's what it is anyway. Alright, wow, this is actually getting to be quite an organized operation. Still can't figure out how to get rid of that grave, but that's pretty crazy. You know what, for one video, I created unlimited dirt. I planted a bunch of crops on the roof. Once you get a bunch of crops, they can beget more crops, so technically we'll have the means to creating unlimited dirt, unlimited rooftop, and if we manage to get overgrowth happening here, then we have unlimited wood. And when you get unlimited dirt, wood, and crops, we could have a multi-tiered skyscraper full of crops on it, which would be pretty freaking insane, and is... I don't even know anymore. I'm running out of ideas. I just think that this would be really cool to try out. And the further I can take it, the better. Anyway, this place looks like garbage, so I guess I'll clean this up. But, yeah, anyway, let me know if you have any other suggestions. At this point, I'm just trying out weird stuff. And if we could get the electrician... You know, these are a lot of items that I can't do in my other playthrough, so that's one of the reasons why I just think that this is an interesting file to work on. And I've heard a couple of you guys try out this challenge for yourselves, so let me know what else you do in yours. Oh, and by the way, thanks to... I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Mjojat? I can't really pronounce the name very well, but it turns out that I could have plumbed the sink in the other video. I just needed to move it or something like that, which I've already got this one plumbed, and personally I like the look of this one, so I think I'm just going to keep this one, but I'm not sure. How would I have removed this? This would have been... Is it with... Okay, it's with a wrench, so I probably could have done that, so I don't know, maybe I'll set up another one for the next time or something like that. Ideally, though, we could find a propane torch, because if we want to... Oh, wait, no. Oh, I could dismantle the air blower? Oh, I did not notice that. Alright, so that's more electrical skill for us. But ideally, we could find a propane mask and welder torch, because that opens up metal working, and that's the last of all the, you know, interesting skill trees that we rarely go down in this game, which I think would be fun to experiment more with. Anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!